What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, I want to give you some remarks on an article that I saw mere moments ago, and it actually concerns Batman. 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 Bang, pow, boom. All right. Anyway, yes. So it concerns Batman and Ben Affleck's I guess time in the role of Batman and what might have been like the future of the Batman franchise had Ben Affleck not walked away from it. Okay, so I found this quite interesting, and I'm going to read some of it for you so you can understand where I'm coming from. And this article here is on yahoo.com. Yahoo! Remember those old commercials? And it says Ben Affleck's scrapped Batman movie explored Arkham Asylum, Bruce Wayne's insanity. Now, the article got me right there at Bruce Wayne's insanity. They're coming to take me away, haha. They're coming to take me away, haha. Hoo hoo hee hee, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. Yes, you have to be old to know that one. Who knows that one? Okay, so yeah, they got me at Bruce Wayne's insanity because I've always said that if we're gonna see the definitive Batman as he exists like in modern times, even like from the very first, you know, from the very first time we saw Batman, like way back in what was it, like the 30s, the 40s, whatever it was, it's like there's always been this hint that he was a little bit off. You know what I mean? Actually, a little bit more than a hint. I mean, after all, the man dresses up in tights like a bat and terrorizes the shit out of people. All right, so you figure there would have to be some insanity there. And then when you find out that he is primarily motivated by the brutal, barbaric deaths and murders of his parents in front of his childhood eyes, you realize you're dealing with a very, very fascinating case study. So I always wanted to see more of that angle, like the insanity of Bruce Wayne that causes him to go out into the night. Like he can't sleep, you know what I mean? Because he's just so like haunted, you know, and off balance. And I always wanted to see that, and I kind of felt like, you know, sometimes they got close in the movies, but no one ever really got that, you know what I mean? Like so far, my favorites of the Batman, I guess you could say, would be Michael Keaton, you know, because Michael Keaton was probably the craziest of the Batman, you know what I mean? When he says, you know, you want to get nuts? Pow! Let's get nuts, let's get crazy. You know, it's like Michael Keaton can sell that because he is, like, at least he comes across to me, is like he's got this kind of crazy streak, you know? Like he's a comedian and, you know, or he was a comedian, right? I don't know. But anyway, he kind of has this crazy side to him. So, you know, I kind of saw that, you know, a little bit in his eyes. And then, of course, Christian Bale. You know, Christian Bale would be my very close number 2 favorite Batman of the Batman. But anyway, he, to me, he played Batman as more of an obsession than an insanity, you know, more crazy. And I wanted to see more of the craziness. You know, Christian Bale was more, he definitely got the brooding part right, you know what I mean? That smoldering thing, you know, because Christian Bale is kind of intense as it is. He's a very intense method actor. So I knew he was going to rock that shit, you know what I mean? But he didn't bring, like, the insanity, you know, because when you really think about it, Batman eventually does have to have a Robin, right? So you have to have someone who is, you know, kind of insane to under certain circumstances to bring a child into his insane world, and that child has to be a little bit insane too. So it can work, you know, Batman and Robin, but it has to be handled very, very specifically, you know what I mean? So I kind of still feel like until we get a Batman that is insane and is compatible with a Robin who's compatible with a Batman and they can grow together, then I kind of still feel like we haven't seen the definitive Batman, even though the Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy is a masterpiece, and there's no way that I can ever watch any one of those movies without nearly dying from the chills, you know, because they got so much right. So I would never put down Christian Bale's Batman at all, you know. So it's Michael Keaton, it's Christian Bale, very, very close together, you know what I mean? And then Adam West, you know, Adam West is like my third favorite Batman for totally different reasons. I think he was most appropriate for the time that he came out of. You know what I mean? Like, nobody did it like Adam West and Burt Ward. When you want to talk about compatibility between Batman and Robin, it's like Adam West always had like kind of a, you know, snarky, private joke kind of delivery. You know what I mean? And he did come across as kind of off-center, you know, so Adam West kind of had that insanity thing going on better than almost anybody, and as a result of that, he worked well with a Robin, even though it was camp, you know, so they really couldn't take it into the more, you know, like intense side of Batman, like the darker side of Batman, but for the time, yeah, absolutely, I feel he was perfect, all right, so let me get back to this now, Bruce Wayne's insanity. All right, so this article is by Zach Sharf. And it says, Batman is returning to the big screen in 2021 with director Matt Reeves and actor Robert Pattinson from Twilight fame, taking on the iconic superhero role. But that wasn't always Warner Brothers' plan for the film franchise. Robert Pattinson, by the way, I don't know about that, man. It's like, I haven't seen enough of him. I saw like one Twilight movie, and I wasn't impressed, but I don't know what he can do as an actor, so I can't give him the thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't know. We're just going to have to see. People have surprised me before. I remember I didn't think that Heath Ledger could pull it off until I heard him laugh in the trailer, you know, and that was it for me. But you never know. You know, with the right writing, the right director, maybe Robert Pattinson can pull it off. I don't know. So anyway, following the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League, release the Snyder Cut, by the way, Ben Affleck was set to reprise the Bruce Wayne / Batman role in a standalone film he was tapped to write and direct. Affleck officially parted ways with the project and the character in January, which was followed by the confirmation that Reeves was coming on board to retool the next Batman film. In a new interview on MTV's Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, cinematographer Robert Richardson reconfirmed Affleck's Batman script was finished and not exactly beloved by everyone involved in the film's development. You know what's funny to me? How they can say, they can admit, because the project was scrapped, that it was finished, but not everyone was liking it. You know what I mean? To me, I appreciate that type of honesty. It doesn't mean that the film was bad. It just means that people were split on it. Whereas, in contrast, when you get Rian Johnson's film, for example, everyone across the board just loved it. It was just a work of art. It was a masterpiece. Mwah, mwah. You know what I mean? And there's something wrong with you, and there's something wrong with me if we don't like it. But we're just too stupid to put it all together. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just kind of like when I hear something like that, because it just tells you, you know, we're delving into a little bit more honesty. Because, of course, everyone across the board just can't love your shit. You know what I mean? But that's what they would have us to believe with round-headed freaking Rian Johnson. Prick. Alright, so anyway. So it was not exactly beloved by everyone involved in the film's development. Richardson was hired by Ben Affleck to film his Batman standalone film after the two worked together on the actor-director's gangster drama Live by Night. There was a script, but not a loved script, Richardson said. There was a lot to do. He was trying to change it, and then he made the decision to do, as you know, Gone Girl. Gone Girl. That movie was freaking ridiculous. I love that movie. All right, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Gone Girl. As for what Affleck's script entailed, Richardson revealed the Batman franchise was going to Arkham Asylum to dig into Bruce Wayne's own insanity. Yes, please. That's what I'm talking about. Now, dude, it's like you have to... I have been saying this for damn near 20 years. You know what I mean? It's like I would love to see a film that kind of confirmed Bruce Wayne's insanity. Now, that doesn't mean I want to see Bruce Wayne walking around like the Joker and shit. It just means that I want to see more of what motivates him every night to get up, dress like a bat, and go beat the shit out of bad guys. I mean, we know his origin. But what I'm saying is, what might that look like in real life, you know, for a man of infinite means, you know, who can have any woman he wants, to instead just go on this crusade night after night after night after night after night. You know what I mean? That would be some shit to see. You know, so that's all I'm saying. So, I don't know, it kind of sounds like a missed opportunity to me. But yeah, the cinematographer said Affleck's film would have showed the darker side of Batman, which is quite the statement, given how brooding Christopher Nolan's interpretation of the superhero was in his Dark Knight trilogy. Well, Affleck was going more into the insanity aspects, Richardson said, so I think you would have seen something a little darker than what we've seen in the past, and more into the individual who is inside Batman. What element may be sane and what element may actually not be sane. So he was entering into a little more of the Arkham, as you know. He's going into where you keep everyone who is bad, everyone that shifted, and Batman. So that whole aspect was sort of, that whole aspect was sort of, it was very fascinating to go to the darker side of Batman. Reeves has yet to reveal any plot details about his film, officially titled The Batman, so it's unclear if anything related to Affleck's script is being used. Alright, so cinematographer Greg Fraser has been hired to shoot The Batman after he completes work on Denis Villeneuve's Dune. Warner Brothers has set a June 25th, 2021 release date for the film. Alright, so there you have it, guys. We're talking about what might have been. And like I said, it seems like these days everything boils down to just another missed opportunity. See, nobody wants to take a chance, nobody wants to commit, and yet we're supposed to believe that we're in this age of artistic expression, that we're just supposed to accept and, you know, not question. Personally, and I have a friend, by the way, before I say this, I gotta say this. I have a friend who has loved Batman his entire life. You talk about obsession. It's like I've known this dude for, oh my God, years and years and years, and he's always been about Batman. And I remember when Ben Affleck was first announced to be taking the role, you know, of Batman. And my friend, he refused to see it. He refused to even hear of it. He could not wrap his mind around Ben Affleck playing Batman. And my thing was, are you kidding me, dude? I'm feeling this, you know what I mean? Because to me, Ben Affleck's Batman almost would have been the same type of feel for me as Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. You're dealing with an actor who has had his share of demons. You know, Ben Affleck has been struggling, you know, with a lot of things. He's not just an actor, pretty boy actor who's coming into a role. It's like I can't help but think there would be something in the psyche of Batman that he could actually tap into, you know, because of his own struggles. You know, like Robert Downey Jr., very well publicized struggles with drugs and, you know, alcohol and the party scene and all that stuff. Ben Affleck, gambling, you know, cheating. You know, I don't want to put the man's dirty laundry out there. You know what I mean? You may or may not have heard about it, but I'm not going to get into it here. He's been a bad boy. But I feel like that could have helped, you know, in the role of Batman, and I was actually looking forward to seeing where they might have taken him as Batman. You know, I was impressed. I was impressed by what I saw with Batman vs. Superman and Justice League. You know, his parts of it, especially I think it was the beginning of Justice League where, you know, he's still solo and stuff. I was like, holy shit, I'm feeling this, man. I like it. And I felt that he could definitely pull it off. He could have made his way up into Batman royalty with me, you know what I mean? We just didn't get enough time, you know, we didn't get enough time to see it. So I would have loved to have seen it, guys. I would have loved to have seen the exploration of the insanity of Batman without demonizing him, because I've gotten enough of that, you know, like the whole Teen Titans thing, you know, when Robin is saying fuck Batman, and of course what is it, the Batwoman series, you know, woman, you know, and she's all like disrespecting Batman and legacy of Batman. I don't need that, you know. So even though we're exploring the insanity of Batman, I would still love to see our hero, you know, but as we know, heroes are flawed. So I think that Ben Affleck could have pulled it off, but, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, you know. But I thought it was an interesting article, and, you know, what could have been. What do you guys think about that? How do you feel about you know, where Ben Affleck as Batman could have taken the franchise? Do you think it was a missed opportunity? Get at me in the comment section. And of course, as always, you can like you can share, you can subscribe. And of course, when you subscribe, make sure you're clicking that bell, you know, so you get the notifications. Make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube likes to play the cha. You know, they're always cha-cha-chaing on my subscribers. You know, I gain some, I lose some. I gain some, I lose some. You know, so yeah, so check that out. And of course, you can find me on Twitter. I will be there. Okay, that's it, guys. All right, that's it. You can catch me on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.